are the most deadly predator in the animal kingdom. I once saw a cat hunt and kill a pebble that was held by David Carradine. Although it wasn't a pebble so much as a rock with a molecular cohesion problem. And hi. Welcome to another episode of a Starter and a Chaser podcast. I am John Passow.
I'm Eric Chmielewski.
Chem.
A.K.A. Chem? Yes.
Gus.
Hi.
Chem's filling in for Joe Clarke. Thanks for
having me on again.
Yeah, no problem. Now, we are reviewing something that we've done a lot of features on here at the show.
You've had a lot of products from these guys.
Yeah, you've had a bunch of the products as well in turn. It is Paul John from India. But today, what are we reviewing, Chem?
We are reviewing the Near Cask Strength. Both are Near Cask Strength, the Classic Select Cask and the Peated Select Cask.
Now, this is really cool because this is kind of a little bit the regular offering, but a little harder to find and a little bit higher up in price. A lot of their other ones come in the nice tube, but these come in magnetically sealed boxes.
A very fancy schmancy there.
Now, of course, Paul John is based out of Goa, India. The distillery started back in 1996, but the
25
brand,
years now.
I guess.
Oh,
I
wow.
guess, yeah. But the brand Paul John started back in 2012, and they use 100% 6-row barley from the foothills on the Himalayas. So it's all Indian grain. But, like you said, this is all near cask strength. Their classic cask strength is 110.4 proof, and it's 6 to 7 years aged in their underground bunker. And the peated select cask is 111 proof, aged in various warehouses, and they source peat from the highlands of Scotland, bring it over to India, and then smoke their 6-row barley with it, and then ferment and distill. So it's not a peated Scotch, it's a peated Indian whiskey from the Highlands.
All right.
Wrap your brain around that one.
I wanted to ask you, what is the difference between a near cask strength whiskey, as both of these are, versus a whiskey that actually is cask strength? What's the There's a slight difference there, I would imagine.
Yes.
So maybe you can tell us about that.
So when they age spirits in barrels, usually it's at a higher proof, and then, like, say they'll put a whiskey into a barrel at 140 proof, which is pretty high. They'll age it and then they'll pull it out, add water, and proof it down to 90 proof or 100 proof or 80 proof. And being near cask strength, that means this is close to that if this is 111 and 110 respectively, so maybe it was 120 it went into the barrels.
Okay.
So it's near that cask strength without actually being full-blown cask strength.
Because you see some whiskeys and bourbons that say cask strength on them. So
Yes, and that's what 100%. That means. It's not proof down at all, and this is near cask strength and not cask strength. So good question. All right, Jim, get your nose in the classic.
This is the Classic Select Cask.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this first, maybe. Nice
light
gold color.
Light gold.
Light gold.
Almost straw, but not quite.
Just a little bit darker than straw. Yeah. Got some decent legs there on it.
Yeah, actually.
So,
Wow, it takes a long time for those legs to form on this. What are you smelling?
Fruitiness, like cantaloupe, melon, like tropical fruit notes I'm getting on this one. And I'd say like a char.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Somewhere kind of in between, like light to medium. Yeah.
So that kind of goes along with a lot of the other Paul John products that we've reviewed. It's had that tropical fruit, that mango. Joe has mentioned sometimes he picks up kind of a salad green and a cucumber.
I could see that, yeah. Okay.
So this is right along the lines of some of their other products. That's good. Now, the peated select cask. Once again, pretty close that straw color. It's got a little more hint of red in there, a little more hint of amber.
Just a hint darker, but pretty close, yeah. Color-wise, kind of a medium to dark gold.
Both of these are 6 to 7 years, so similar colors is kind of to be expected.
No, decent legs on this one too.
Mm-hmm. What are you smelling? On the peated Select Casks. God, I love these boxes.
Yeah, what a beautiful packaging that it comes in. And aroma-wise, I would say it's pretty similar to the first one. Some caramel, malts, of course, light to medium char, and I get the same fruity notes: tropical fruit, melon, mango, that type of stuff. Maybe a little bit of citrus. But then, of course, some peat. It's got that peat, that smoky note to it that most, of course, typically found in scotches that have peat. And I guess there's a couple American whiskeys that also have peat in them as well. That I think you've shared with me.
I think Westland out of Oregon. So they have a peated one. Yeah, Westland.
So it's unique because it's those other flavors, especially the fruit profile that I'm getting in the nose, is not something, at least in my experience, that typically is paired with peat from like a whiskey or a spirit. To me, I don't think I've had that before. They have like sort of the fruity profile and the peat. So that's unique. I like
on the
that
nose.
about this. Yeah, on the nose.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the classic Select Cask. Prost.
Prost.
By the way, if you know what they say in India when they cheers, be sure to leave a comment below, hit subscribe, and hit like. Fairly spicy up front. And that spice just grows. I mean, it gets prickly on the tongue. It's kind of like a rye spice almost, but not quite.
Yeah, but it's similar to rye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back for a second. There it is. That second one just really blossomed on my tongue. Honey.
I was going to say that. Yeah,
Mango.
I was thinking after the first sip, honey, but then you said it before I did now. But yeah, absolutely.
I beat you.
Honey, mango.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little earth. Barrel. It's almost got kind of like a French oak note, but it's got these bourbon characteristics as well. And it's got bourbon characteristics in the sense of it was put into a used bourbon barrel. It doesn't have that super strong caramely or thickness that a bourbon would have, but it's got these bourbon undertones to it that I feel comes from aging in a bourbon barrel. Did you guys put this in a bourbon barrel? I bet you they put it in a bourbon barrel.
I want to say the oak, the char, or the maybe slight prickliness, almost licking the barrel, not quite, but it's it's for me. It's
almost on that
level. So it's the taste. I get a lot more of that in the flavor than I feel I got in the nose on this. So it tasted like, or it smelled like a younger, kind of fresher white oak, not maybe a new barrel, first use barrel smell, but taste definitely not. It's got more that woodiness in the taste for me than it did in the nose.
Okay. I just took a third sip of it, and boy, that honeycomb is like right up front, and it continues all the way into the finish. There's, excuse me, I do apologize. There is a little bit of heat, as I cough, to this, but I don't know. Do you feel like it's 110 proof? I almost feel like this might be like 90 or 100 proof as it comes across.
If this were just given to me and I didn't know, I don't think I would guess it was that high.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
Very well integrated. All right, I'm going to take a sip of water here real quick.
All right. Yep.
Peated Select Cask, Paul John. Prost.
And pro. sit.
What do you think?
Peat comes right through for me.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Oh, it's smoky.
Yeah, if I didn't know this was because India and products from India, you don't think of peated smoke from Scotland being paired with things from India.
True. Well, they do take a lot of inspiration from Scotland to have a peated Indian Indian whiskey. I think is definitely unique.
Yeah.
This
very well integrated here, I feel. Yeah.
At first it was like overbearing. I mean, and this is just my first sip. So I took a sip and it was like, oh, that familiar honey and tropical. But then it was like, whoa, cigarette, cigar, pipe tobacco. I mean, it was like a big combo of all those three. And then it just like slowly settled out, but it's still very much dominated by smoke. What do you feel on the smoke level?
No, I agree with what you said. It's big. It's the smoke, the peat. It's pretty dominant here.
It's dominant, but there are still these like flavors that are popping up.
I'm getting the honey and the tropical fruit is coming through.
I'm getting cantaloupe.
Yeah.
I'm like major cantaloupe, like almost overripe, soft cantaloupe. Yeah, this is now typically like Isla's. I'm a big Isla fan. Typically with those, I get that tropical fruit. I get mango, I get papaya, cantaloupe not so much, and then the smoke. This has got tropical fruit, but in kind of a different way. It's like it's an Indian take on it almost. It's mango, it's guava, it's different tropical fruits than I associate with Isla, and that's really cool for me. Not much barrel on this. I get a hint on the finish. Do you get much?
Again, as with the first product, that the classic select cask. On this one, I feel I get more barrel on the flavor than I did on the nose.
Okay.
It's not super heavy. I definitely get what you're saying. I'd say it's medium.
Medium?
For me, it's medium char.
For me, I'm going with a lighter barrel note for my taste. So you're on medium, I'm on light. Okay. Jim, final thoughts. Paul John Classic Select Cask and Paul John Peated Select Cask.
I like them both.
You like them both? Wouldn't kick them out of bed?
No, definitely not. Yeah. How about you?
Even if they're eating crackers in bed, would you kick them out?
Depends if they're getting crumbs everywhere or not, you know?
What if they're filling the bed up with stones or rocks with molecular cohesion problems?
Well, that's another ball.
Okay, all right. Okay, fair enough. For me, this is really cool. I'm a big fan of Paul John's. There has been maybe like one product that I wasn't a huge fan of, but I still enjoyed. So they typically really hit it out of the ballpark. These things are on another level. I mean, it is all their typical flavors, the honeys, the mangoes, the maybe a little bit of that cucumber on the classic, but I'd have to really kind of search for it. It has those themes that run through all of their whiskeys, but just like beefier and meatier and more intense. This one goes to 11.
It goes to 11.
As far as Paul John. And I'm really impressed. And the peated select cask, as smoke dominant as it is, that kind of not Scotch tropical fruit flavor paired with
really
that smoke
unique,
is so cool.
I like that, yeah.
Wow. The peated select cask is my winner out of the two, but I would not kick it out of bed for bringing in molecular incoherent rocks. Does the winning. That's Chums does the winning.
Does the winning. Yes.
Well, that was our review of Paul John Select Casks. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed,
thanks for having me on again.
Thumbs up.
John
you're welcome.
and Joe, yeah.
You're welcome. And thanks for filling in for Joe. And we will see you